Hello, welcome to tonight's Thermomix TM6 demonstration. I'm just going to be showing you all the different modes of the TM6 model. So this is mainly for those who don't already own a Thermomix at all, or if you've got a previous model, you want to see what the new features are of this one. So just a few basics before I get into it. I mean, most people would invest in a Thermomix for one or all of these reasons: to save time, to be healthy, to save money, to save energy, or just to have fun in the kitchen and create beautiful dishes, beautiful recipes. So it's like for people who hate cooking and don't want to be in the kitchen, or for people who love cooking and want to be in it and be making different things that they couldn't do without something like the Thermomix. So yes, so that's the Thermomix in a super quick nutshell. The TM6 model comes with these accessories. I'll go through the accessories first. So we have our Varoma dish, which is 3.3 litre capacity. We have an extra tray that you can flip in if you want to be doing layered steaming. So this just sits on top of your Thermomix and is it's basically a steamer, but we call it the Varoma. So that is 10% bigger than if you've got the TM31 model. Everything is a bigger capacity. We also have our simmer basket, which has a lid on it so that it's a food safety thing to make sure your food is contained in there. And that just fits inside if you're wanting to steam something inside. And also we sit it on top depending on the recipe, because we want more steam to escape without splattering all over your bench. So that's why sometimes that sits on top. We have our measure cup, which sits inside the hole in the lid. So sometimes you don't want anything blocking that, but sometimes, for a lot of times, if you're blending or milling especially, you want that measure cup to be sitting in there, and that just stays in place. We have our butterfly whisk. So this just sits on top of the blades. And give it a little anti-clockwise twist as well. That's for whisking egg whites, mashed potato, butter, making mayonnaise, whipping cream, things like that, making butter. So that's our whisk, very beautiful. We have our spatula, comes with this really handy guard on it, so that while you're cooking, you can be stirring. It will never reach the blades because of that guard. You can have a stir, have a taste. And some recipes ask you to help process, especially sorbet. The ice is all around, and this just helps churn it through. The other thing about the spatula, we've got a handy hook, which helps get the simmer basket out when it's hot. Oh, doesn't work when it's not in it. But this one, unlike previous models, the spatula is a lot more flexible, so you can actually use it to scrape food out a bit better. We also have our splash guard. So when we're going up to 160 degrees, which this model Thermomix can do, so we get lots of caramelization happening, the splash guard goes on top as a safety guard to make sure no oil is spitting out around. Everything is really contained in that bowl, which makes it so much safer to cook in here than, say, the stove or anything else really. So they're the accessories, and other than that, we've got our unit and a bowl set, which comes with a bowl blade lid. The blade is always in there, and the seal on the lid stays in. You don't take that out at all. It's just stuck there. So that's the accessories, and I do want to show you the buttons. So on the TM6, you turn it on and it comes here to this home screen where you've got your time, temperature, and speed. Now this looks very different to the TM31 model Thermomix, but using it should be easier, really. It's just you touch what you're trying to change and then turn our selector dial over here to turn it up to whatever time you want or whatever temperature you want. So you've got all those options and your speed. And as soon as I activate the speed, if I zoom back, you can see this. As soon as I activate that speed, the arms lock and it's going. And we've got from soft right up to 10. I won't do it all out, and then we have our reverse button here so that when you're cooking, things that you don't want to chop at all, you have it on reverse going on the blunt side of the blades. So that's the home screen of your Thermomix. If I swipe this way, we have a whole heap of modes, and I am going to go through most of these modes very soon, each individually, but I just wanted to show you where they all are at the moment. One thing to, oh no, that's fine. Now, if I go the other way, this is my favorite thing about the Thermomix TM6 model. I swipe this way and I'm already straight into Cookidoo without having to sync anything at all. So if I scroll down, I can see what's new. I can also see what is trending. There's little videos about things that come up that you can watch. So every time there's a new feature, they give us a little video about it. This is what's trending this week. People are cooking salmon and curry and hot cross bun loaf, getting ready for Easter, I guess. Yeah, more new collections. But really, the main thing I do in my family is I swipe to this page, type, press the search bar, and then I just start typing. And it's normally a little bit quicker, but when I'm on Zoom, it's a bit slower. So I can just type in anything, but I've typed in the word chicken, and I'll see what comes up. So I've got 1,400 chicken recipes that have just come up. So you can scroll through and see, you know, your options. I would narrow it down a bit more if I was trying to find something, but let's just say, yeah, so you can type in an ingredient, or you can type in, if you already know what you want to cook, just type that in. Yeah, so, and then you just go straight into the recipe. So let's say I want to do this chicken curry. If you scroll down, I haven't made this one before. There's so many recipes. You can see the info about it. Sometimes you can change the portions. So this one's made for 6, but if your family's smaller, you can change it, and they calculate all the maths and figure it out to make it less ingredients and fix the cooking time. Then you scroll down, you've got your ingredients, your steps, and we have down the bottom a nutrition guide, and sometimes there's tips as well. But if you're ready to get cooking, you don't need to scroll down and see all that. You can just press start. And basically you just do what it says, one step at a time, then press next. The scales come up when they are needed, and the scales on this model go in 1 gram increments, so it's super accurate, which is really handy for when you are baking. Yeah, and you just do what it says and then press next, and it just guides you through all along the way. Now, some common questions we get are, since this is guiding you, what if you don't want to follow that? Well, you're still in control. So if I didn't want onions, I would skip it. Or if I wanted more onions, even though it's asking for 300, I can just put more in. That's okay. And actually, a common thing I do when a recipe asks for onions is I also add some zucchini and capsicum, because I'm trying to add some hidden veggies. Yeah, but you just do what it says and keep going through the recipe, which I will stop at the moment. But also I wanted to just say, if any of you have any questions along the way, please just stop me and ask, or you can put questions in the chat. A few of you have joined since we started, so just so you know, I am recording this, so you can catch up on what you missed at the beginning. But yes, we'll just keep going. So yeah, so that, and then so I've shown you what is this way and what is this way, and I'll just show you now what's in your menu. So we have our recipes here. So you can, within Cookidoo, bookmark your favorite recipes. So these are some of my favorites that I wanted bookmarked. You can also create your own recipes and upload them into your Thermomix. So these could be family favorites. It's just being a bit slow because I'm on Zoom. Normally that's much quicker. These could be family favorites, or you can import them from another website we have called recipecommunity.com.au. But yeah, these are some favorite recipes that we like to cook here but aren't on Cookidoo, and so I've just put them in. The other thing here are collections, so you can create your own folders or playlists, whatever you want to call them. Like one could be for midweek, one could be for entertaining, whatever it is, just so your recipes are all organized. And the other thing is you can have your meal plan ready. I've done a few for the week. Yeah, I started to get a bit organized. So that on that day, you know what you've already planned and you can just come here and get going. Yeah, you can also see recently cooked. So your absolute favorites that you do regularly, you can come in here and find them really quickly. You can see some of the things we've been cooking recently. I make ghee and mayo very regularly, so they're always there. Yeah, so they're the buttons. So I've gone through the accessories and the buttons. Now I wanted to show you the modes, the actual cooking. And what's great about doing an online demo means I can show you a lot more in a shorter amount of time. So I'm just going to share some videos with you to help you see. And one of my favorite modes is the high heat mode, sugar stages. So I'm going to share this with you with our honeycomb video. So basically you just come, and as I just showed you on my TM6, come and type in the word honeycomb, press start, and it will guide you through the recipe. And this is going to go up to 160 degrees, so it can do that toffee work. Have your ingredients ready, the scales come up. So anytime you're adding ingredients, you don't need to use measure cups, you just pour it straight in, which is really handy. And then it's going to ask for water. This is a really cheap treat to make. So anytime you need to, if you're wanting to give someone a gift or take a treat somewhere, this is like very budget conscious, this recipe. And then you just start. So it's going to give it a stir, and then those blades are actually going to stop for it to bubble up and for the honeycomb to start, doing its toffee work. So hopefully you can see that there. It's very cool. And just the fact that all the recipes are formulated means you can do these with confidence, knowing it's going to work out each time. The recipes are all really easy to follow and they just work. So adding in the bicarb, and now this is the only part you do need to work a little bit quickly here before it starts setting, because it does set fast. So yeah, a few turns with the spatula, pour it out. You can do it in molds or on a tin or a tray or whatever. So this mode of the sugar stages mode, it's really good to make. You can make lollipops, toffee, honeycomb. You can do caramel sauce. Trying to think what else. There's others. And then the bowl is messy. So Thermomix cleans itself. You just add some water, add some vinegar, or you could add dishwash liquid. For this one, I would definitely do the vinegar because it helps get everything off. And then you put the lid on and it does a little clean mode. And I'll just skip through it a bit because you don't really need to see it cleaning itself. But yeah, that's the bowl after you've done the clean mode. Very easy to just wipe the rest off. And now I'll put up the sound so you can hear the crunch. So that's our honeycomb. I'll just stop that share. I can see, yes, clean. Karina loves clean mode as well. It's just so handy. Every night after dinner, I put clean mode on, so it just cleans itself while we go and eat. Makes it very handy. So, any questions about sugar stages or anything, just stop me. The other mode I love of the TM6 that uses the high heat as well. Well, it's just called high temp mode, basically, so that you can saute things and caramelize. I love making caramelized onions. I make them all the time. But I did want to show you this recipe for sauteed zucchini because then you can just see it's sizzling, basically. You can see how hot it gets in there, and it stirs it for you when it needs to. It's just so easy just to be able to put it on and leave. Like, you can't just saute something on the stove and leave the kitchen. Like, that's just not a possible thing you can do. But in the Thermomix, you can. So I love being able to saute in here. So just putting in the oil. Don't stress if you go a little bit over. if you're heavy-handed. My friend Bernie made these videos. They're awesome. So super grateful to her for making these. Put your splash guard on anytime you're sauteing, because that's one of our safety features. Then you turn it on and then you can leave the kitchen. You know, or if the phone rings or a child needs you or someone's at the door, like it's just, you're safe. It's stirring when it needs to stir. The countdown timer's on, which is another awesome, awesome safety feature of the Thermomix, that it will never burn because the countdown timer is always on. I want to show you that sizzle. I don't know if you could hear that sizzle, but yeah, it's just going away, and that's why she's left that in the video. So you can see all the steam coming out the top because it's very hot. Yeah, and then at the end of the time, the arms open and it's ready to go and you can serve. So you can do this. There's a whole heap of recipes. You can do it with sauteing different types of meats and bacons and all different types of veggies. Yeah, and it just does a nice job caramelizing, and you can see the brown marks at the bottom means it's done a good job caramelizing. And then we've got a clean mode to help you clean that off, which makes it really easy. But there we have it. So another super awesome feature of the TM6. And now this one I'm going to show you next is not a new feature to the Thermomix. This is dough mode. It's been around since the TM31 or maybe before. I've been with Thermomix for 14 years, and ever since then they've had dough mode. The reason I want to show it to you is because it is our most popular mode, and also some of you may not have an older model Thermomix. Some of you might be new entirely. So I do want to show you this one. So this is our dough mode. And this is awesome. This pizza bianca recipe is good, but you can do focaccia or basic bread or hot cross buns or cinnamon scrolls or whatever. And it just guides you through. It even tells you when to put the oven on. This recipe is where we make pizza bianca means it's like a white pizza, so no sauce. But we do top it with garlic and rosemary. So this is just chopping all that garlic and rosemary. And one thing with the Thermomix, with the high grade stainless steel bowl, nothing oxidizes in here. So when you chop herbs in here, they do stay green. And lovely, retaining all those nutrients. So just chopping it really finely. And then we set it aside, but don't, and add some oil into it. And then you don't need to clean the bowl because we want what's all that residue, we want that in the dough. So now we get into the actual dough, and all Thermomix doughs, or most of them anyway, unless you're doing brioches and sweet things like that, is 5 ingredients. So I don't know if you've seen the back of your packet of bread you're making, but there's a lot of additives and different things in there. So this is just much healthier. It saves you money, and it tastes great. So in there now is just the water and the yeast activating together. And so we've got that temperature control option of turning it to such low temps as 37 for fermenting your dough. Then add your flour, salt, and your oil, and kneading. You can see through the hole there what a great job it does kneading the dough. 2 minutes of kneading in here is the same as 20 minutes of hand kneading. So it really does save you a lot of time if you want fresh homemade bread. And there is a clean mode for dough, although the bowl cleans pretty easily after dough. The bowl of the Thermomix is also dishwasher safe. So then we just wrap our dough and let it rise for however long. If you don't have a mat like this, which is one of our host rewards, by the way, you can put it in a bowl with a tea towel over the top and have it in a warm place. We also can rise our dough using Ferment mode on the Thermomix. Anyway, then we add that topping from before with some salt, bake it in the oven about 10 to 15 minutes, and there you have it. Beautiful, fresh, homemade bread, which is actually so delicious. So yes, love dough mode in the Thermomix. Just another example of making things from scratch. I think our grandparents or our ancestors would be so proud of us with our families cooking from scratch, but we don't have to stay in the kitchen all day like they did. because we're all busy these days. So now I wanted to show you some of the other modes of the Thermomix. And I just need a second to get this organized. Okay, so sous vide mode, hopefully you can see this. Sous vide mode is where is one of our modes here, where you have a really specific temperature. You do need to have your bag air free, so either use a vac sealer system, or you can use snap lock bags and just put it in water, submerge it in water before you completely snap it. I can send you a video on how to do that. But then you're filling your whole bowl with water, and you can either use the blade cover peeler or your simmer basket to put your bags in. And basically, it's a really gentle way of cooking that gives your food the most silkiest, softest texture. It's amazing, actually, when you can be bothered to use sous vide. I've done it with steak and chicken, and what else have I done? Scallops. Everything always turns out so beautifully with sous vide mode, and that's just another feature of your Thermomix. Normally you need a separate special appliance for that. So there you go. That's sous vide mode. Question and and Karina's saying salmon. Yes, I have tried salmon in there as well. So good. Okay, so that's sous vide. Blend mode is fairly obvious that you can use the Thermomix as a blender, but I will show you anyway. So the Thermomix goes up to 10,300 revs per minute on speed 10, which is super fast, meaning you can blend just about anything, or mill or grind. Yeah, so if you're wanting to cook soup and then blend it at the end, I even leave the skin on my pumpkin soup, and it is completely obliterated by the end. Like, that's how powerful this blend is. So yes, smooth and creamy. Very nice. But yeah, another cool feature of TM6. Now, I'm not going to show that one. Ferment mode, I hinted at a little bit earlier. Most people use this mode to make yogurt. It's got that specific temperature for that, but also you can use it to prove your dough as well. So in this video, we're doing pot set yogurt in the Varoma, and it will just ferment above. And you can do that sort of 10 to 12 hours. So I usually set that overnight so that it's not in use through the day, because I want to use my Thermomix. But yeah, just that perfect temperature and timing control that the Thermomix has is it's just so convenient, and just the step-by-step guide of it is really good. So here's an example of rising the dough in there using some baking paper. You can use a mat as well. And it just rises so nicely in there, especially if you've got a cold house. And then you just carry on with your shaping of your bread. So that's ferment mode. Clean mode. I don't know how exciting it is to watch, but I love this. So this is actually the most popular non-guided recipe mode in the Thermomix. You just choose what you are cooking. So if you're cooking dinner, you go to the universal one. Dough, there's a dough mode. If you are caramelizing and have brown marks, there's one specifically for browning. So there's just different. There's 5 different options for your pre-clean. And then it just, there's one since this video is made. There's another one called short now. So if you're in a hurry, you press the short one. And it just does a really good job cleaning it. But yeah, as I said, the Thermomix can also go in the dishwasher, or a lot of the time is also very easy to clean by hand. And there are special brushes you can get that go with the Thermomix. But I'll let that play out. Yeah, at the end, you just tip it down the sink and it's usually pretty clean. Yeah. Very good. So this is one of our newer features. So when we first got the TM6, we didn't have all these modes. We get software updates. And this was one that came in a software update once when we were all very excited. So you put your eggs right in the bottom of the bowl. The blades won't move in this one. They just stay there. So then you add your water and then you choose how you want your eggs to cook. So I do medium soft for dippy eggs or medium hard if I'm wanting to cut it up to go into, say, a Caesar salad or potato salad. They're just my favorite choices, but you get to choose. Yeah, and it's basically just perfect every time. So yeah, often it's actually one of the first recipes new Thermomix customers try is the egg boiler mode, because obviously lots of Aussies love to eat eggs for breakfast or just whenever. Rice cooker mode is awesome. Obviously with the Thermomix you can get rid of a lot of different appliances and just have one on your bench that does everything really well. So yeah, the rice cooker mode is the absorption method of cooking rice. So the blades will spin at the start to just give it a stir, and then they'll stop and let the rice and the water just sit and cook together and absorb in on the perfect heat that gives you the perfect rice. So super handy to have that mode in the Thermomix. And there's different recipes for all the different types of rice so that you can get the right quantities of rice to water. Okay, I want to show you warm-up mode because maybe not, hang on, I've got something in the chat. Oh yeah, no more gluey overcooked rice. With warm-up mode, yeah, maybe not as common a mode to use. I don't like using the microwave, and I know a lot of other people don't like to either. So if that's you, then this is a really handy mode to use. It just makes it really food safe, making sure there's no hot or cold spots, and it does a really good job of reheating your food. So you can do different soups, sauces, or dinners, and choosing your temperature really specifically. I know for those who care about baby food, you can heat it up to 37 degrees, which is the same temperature their milk comes out of mum. So, and then, yeah, for sauces up to 90, dinners, yeah, really, really handy mode to have because it's really specific. Now, another super awesome mode that the TM6 has is our slow cook mode. So you can cook up to 8 hours on slow cook. Choose your temperature. You can use the blade cover if you want to, or you don't have to. It depends what you're cooking. But yeah, this is the true set and forget. Again, you can have that confidence to leave the house. It is fully safe sitting there. And what it does is the blades move every 15 minutes for a stir, but then otherwise they're just sitting there, letting your food slow cook. But the stirring is really helpful to make sure nothing gets stuck. So it's just a really clever, all that German engineering comes into all these modes, you know? Really clever. Thicken mode, I love for different sauces. So I use this one for gravy or bechamel sauce. We love our cheesy bechamel or custard or hollandaise to go over our poached eggs. So this mode, you just put in your ingredients and it will do its thing, and it will detect. You're not setting a time with this one. It's going to tell you how long it needs. Most things are about 10 minutes, maybe 12, maybe 8, but all sauces are pretty quick in the thicken mode, and it just detects it and tells you when it's ready. So it's perfect every time. And actually, making sauces in a Thermomix is one of the reasons a lot of restaurants have Thermomixes, because it means someone's hands are free, because otherwise they're standing at the stove all day stirring with a thermometer usually in one hand and the whisk in the other. So yeah, thicken mode's really perfect for that. Okay, I don't really know if I need to show this one too much. Kettle mode's a little bit obvious, except to say that it does get to that perfect temperature for whatever liquid you want to put inside. I know a lot of people's kettles only go up to 100, whereas here we've got the choice. So anywhere from 37 up to 100. is your kettle mode. So I do tea on 80. But yeah, so that's kettle mode. You can get rid of your kettle even. Now, turbo mode, earlier I said the Thermomix goes up to 2,300 revs per minute. Turbo mode is even faster than that. This goes up to 10,700 revs a minute, and it's just a really quick pulse. So you can just do a quick burst of speed, and so that you get that rough texture without going too far. Like if you were on blend, it could go too far and you start getting it too processed, whereas the turbo is just a really quick burst of processing your ingredients. But it's a really good one for making lemonade, which is what's happening on the screen right now. They're just going to turbo that lemon in with that water and ice, and it just does a really quick. Actually, the lemonade in here, if for those who have a Thermomix, if you haven't tried the lemonade, it's really good. My kids have even done lemonade stands going out the front of our house, which is quite cute. Now, this one I'm going to show you is for use with a different attachment that you can get. It is one of our host reward options, or it is available for purchase. It's called our blade cover peeler, and you would have seen that they were using it in the sous vide and the slow cook as well, but it can be used as a peeler for your root veggies. So it goes in with water, and what it does is it's got these nodules. They're not sharp, just raised little nodules, and with the speed of it spinning around with the water, the skin from your veggies is just going to be agitated off. So as it swirls there, the skin just rubs off, and then you've got peeled potatoes or beetroot or whatever it is you're wanting to peel. So that's our blade cover peeler. We've already looked at high temp mode and sugar stages because I showed you the sauteed zucchini and honeycomb. I do just want to show you, I'm like debating whether to show this to you or not, but I just will. So up the very top of my page here, I've got another attachment that you can get with your Thermomix. The best way to get it at the moment is to earn it by becoming a consultant. It's called our cutter. The other way is it's coming really soon, and you can register your interest for it to come because it's been out of stock for a little while. But basically it's this attachment where you can slice or grate. So this video is going to show you slicing, and you can choose whether you want to slice thin or thick. You just prep your veggies, or whatever, it doesn't have to be veggies. Could be cheese or different meats. And thin is 1 millimeter, so you can see that's a thin slice. And now this tomato they're doing on thick, which is 4 millimeters. So that's your difference between thin and thick on the slice mode of the cutter. So that cucumber was thin, the tomato was thick, the avocado looks thick. So yeah, really quick to process all your veggies. It's really good for potato bake, but those veggie bowls, super easy. And then grating. So you use the same attachment, which again is called the cutter, and except this time we turn the disc around the other side so that it's on the grating side. And again, you'll have the option of slice of thin or thick, sorry. So you can have your veggies whether you bother peeling or not. So that's thin, which is 1 millimeter, or thick, which is going to be 4 millimeter. So yeah, you get to choose. So that's the cutter. If you want more information about the cutter, just talk to your consultant. We can tell you all about that. Sorry, Karina, I didn't see your chat earlier when you said the best bechamel. Absolutely is. So let me now, I really want to go through Cookidoo with you because this is a game changer for the Thermomix once we got Cookidoo. Now Cookidoo, and it'll only take me a few minutes to show you. Cookidoo is our recipe platform that is subscription based. So when you pay for it, it's $69 a year, But when you first get a TM6 Thermomix, you get 6 months free so that you can really use that time to decide whether you want to keep subscribing or not. You can absolutely still use your Thermomix without subscribing to Cookidoo. All it's still got all the great modes and everything else, and you can cook manually in it. All the recipes from the White Basic Cookbook, which I didn't pull out, will always be there as guided recipes, but the others won't. But yeah, you use that 6 months to decide, and you will know whether it's for you or not. So what I want to show you is Cookidoo, as I said. Is it going to show you? So this is, yeah, it looks the same as the screen that I was showing you earlier on the TM6. So you can come here and just type absolutely anything in. Trying to think of just something. Okay, let's say you want to make stroganoff. You just type it in and the recipes come up. So once you find a recipe you want to use, you need to be logged in. Sorry. Otherwise it won't work. You've got these 3 dots, and this is how you organize your recipes. So you can bookmark it, add it to a collection, add to a day of the week, and then add to your shopping list. Or you can add to created recipes. It's getting a little bit more advanced. But so basically you can do that and make your whole meal plan or organize your recipes. If you don't know what you want to make, but you know you want to make something for Easter, just type in the word Easter and 1,000 recipes have come up that have been tagged as being good for Easter time. So how cute are they? Yeah. So what else? If you have an intolerance, you could just type it in. So gluten-free, egg-free, dairy-free. You could type in the word vegan, see what comes up. You can say you've got guests coming over and you don't know what to do. Type in the word entertaining. Girls' night in, type in the word cocktail. Literally any word, like, you can just put here and just see what comes up. So then once you're organized with your meal plan, if you come back to my week and you can see what you've got happening. The other thing I want to show you is with the shopping list, because this is a very cool feature. All the recipes that you put into your shopping list, it puts them in the categories so that as you're going down the aisles, all your baking ingredients together, your grains, your dairy, your fruit, your meat, everything's together so that it makes shopping easy. If you've already got it at home, just tick it before you go shopping. If you have the app on your phone, you can have this open in your hand, ticking it off as you put the item in the trolley. So as you put the currants in your trolley, tick it off. So that's a really easy way of shopping. Or I don't know if you've noticed up here, this beautiful button here. If you don't want to be the one doing the shopping, you can just send that shopping list straight to Woolies online. It does everything for you. If you don't like the brand they have chosen, you just press this swap button and choose which brand you do want. So if you want it, if you're looking for the cheaper option or looking for the organic option, like, you're in control here. So just choose whatever it is. Yeah, and then you're good to go. So basically that whole feature of the meal plan and the shopping list, the idea behind it is to save you money and time, and you feel good being organized as well. But definitely reducing that waste for Aussie families is a huge topic at the moment, and this just really helps with that. Yeah, and here's where you add your own recipes if you want to do that. That was a super quick Cookidoo tutorial. When you get your Thermomix, we go into more detail about how to use your Thermomix, how to use Cookidoo. Today, I just wanted to make it a really quick demo so you can see what it could do for you. So is the Thermomix going to save you time? Is it going to make you healthier or save you money or be more fun, get you cooking more or help you get out of the kitchen? Whatever it is for you, because everyone has a different reason why they might be looking into getting a Thermomix. So if you want help figuring out if it's for you, just talk to your consultant. We are here to help you. We'll have a chat with you. Yeah, basically. And then, oh, I already showed you before, but since I just showed you Cookidoo, here's where you find what you just organized on the app or the website will be in here, in your collections or your meal plan. So it's really easy. And if you've got something in your meal plan and you're organized yourself with your shopping list, anyone in the household can come here and go, oh, it's Thursday. This is what we've planned to cook today. The ingredients must be here or it wouldn't be in the meal plan. And then just get straight into the recipe. So it's just making life a lot easier, the whole package of the Thermomix. So that is what I wanted to show you today, all the different modes of the TM6 model Thermomix, the accessories, the buttons, how Cookidoo works. If any of you have any questions, I will just stay on. I'll press stop on the recording, but I'll stay on if any of you want to ask me any other questions. I love talking about the Thermomix, and I just think everyone should see it and decide whether it's for you or not. So don't be shy to reach out to me with questions. I'm trying to find the stop button. Oh, and Karina loves to help with questions too. Why can't, oh, here it is.